Hi everybody! We are coming to you here from our Greenwell site, and we hope that you all are doing well and staying healthy. And we here at Early Head Start, we really miss seeing all of you. We miss going on visits and seeing you and having our group socializations. So hopefully someday soon we'll be able to have those again. But for now, we all need to be safe and be healthy and be following the guidelines that the state of Hawaii has given to us. So we decided that we would start bringing the socials to you. So hopefully you'll be able to access this video and have fun with it. So thanks for being here. So being that it is September, and one of my favorite things about September is learning about apples. So we're going to have a few activities about apples today. So let's get started. I'm going to read a story called Apples for Everyone. Seen any apples lately? Early each year, in orchards and backyards, apple trees bloom. Drawn by the sweet smell, bees buzz from blossom to blossom. And apple trees, if you've ever seen an apple tree in blossom, it's so beautiful. As time passes, petals flutter to the grass and fuzzy bumps begin to appear. Slowly, those baby apples grow bigger and bigger, turning all shades of red. A glowing green or a cheerful yellow. Apples might have golden speckles or snazzy stripes, be round as a ball or tall and lumpy bottomed. Limbs droop, heavy with ripe fruit. Some apples drop to the ground, and then they rot and become food for the growing tree. And for all of us that live in Hawaii, we actually have some apples that grow here too. They might not be the big giant ones that are grown in other states like Washington, but we do have them growing here. And one time I ate an apple. I got an apple from the grocery store, and I ate the apple, and then I threw the apple out into my little garden area, and guess what? It grew an apple tree. It took quite a long time, so maybe a couple years, but it grew an apple tree and it grew apples on it, and the apples were definitely not as big as the one that I ate, that it came from, but they were kind of small and a little bit tart, but they were really good. So you can do that too. At last it's fall and it's harvest time, and fresh apples are everywhere. You can find them in grocery stores and farmers markets and even at the roadside stands. In some places, you can even go pick your own apples. So you can climb up a ladder or reach up to the branches and pull it off yourself. Sometimes people bob for apples for fun around Halloween time. So they put an apple into the bowl, and then they put their head in and they try to grab the apple with their teeth. So probably not good for our little ones, but might be kind of fun for adults in your household. And then we can make apples into all kinds of things, like apple pie, caramel apples, apple cider, and applesauce. And we're going to talk about applesauce in just a few minutes. Apple trees have been growing in America for hundreds of years, since the colonists brought apple seeds from England. When most of America was still unsettled, a pioneer named John Chapman spent his summers hiking through the wilderness, planting apple seeds wherever he went. His nickname was Johnny Appleseed. And a fun side note about Johnny Appleseed, my husband's mom does a lot of family history, and through her work doing family history of their family, she found out that they are related to Johnny Appleseed. And apple seeds lie in their core in the middle. Cut an apple crosswise and you will see the shape of a star. Each of the star pockets have 1 or 2 seeds sleeping inside. Americans eat more apples than any other fruit. There are many flavors and kinds to choose from. These have names like Fuji, Gala, Granny Smith, Honeycrisp, Jonathan, Macintosh, Pink Lady, and Red Delicious. What is your favorite? Love at first bite. All right, so to go along with our little story, and we're going to have another story after that, I'm going to sing a song about the apples in the apple tree, and I'll sing it a couple of times, and so you can then sing it to your little one. Okay, so it goes like this. So you got to put the apples up in the apple tree, and it goes like this. Away up high in the apple tree, 2 red apples smiled at me. I shook that tree as hard as I could. Down came the apples, good. Okay, I'll do it one more time. Get your apples up in the tree. Ready? Away up high in the apple tree, 2 red apples smiled at me. I shook that tree as hard as I could. Down came the apples, good. Yay! Okay, so we did talk in that first story, we did talk about the things that you can make with apples. And so I'm sure a lot of you enjoy apple pie at different times of the year. I'm sure that when you get a sweet tooth, you might make those apples into a caramel apple, which again, probably not good to eat for our little ones. Hard to chew, and they might choke on the caramel. But for you adults, it's a delicious treat. But one thing that we can make apples into for our little ones, especially those kiddos that are 12 months and older, is applesauce. So these days we can find applesauce in lots of different ways. So you can get just the jar of applesauce and you can spoon it into your bowl, and your child, your little one, is going to love it. But now they have some great ways to take applesauce on the go, and it's a really healthy snack as well. So you can find applesauce in these little squeezy packs now. So you just pop the top, and the little one can just squeeze it into their mouth. So that's one great way of eating applesauce. And then also the little containers of applesauce, and especially for those kiddos that are learning to use their spoon. These are really great because it's kind of small and it gives them a nice chance to practice using their spoon. So applesauce is a great snack for our little kiddos that we work with in Early Head Start. And here's just a little bit about applesauce and the vitamins that are in it. So applesauce contains vitamins and minerals, including vitamin C and potassium. There is very little fat or sodium or salt in applesauce. And vitamin C, we know, is a great vitamin for keeping us healthy, preventing illnesses like colds and things like that. So it's always great to find those foods that have vitamin C. And then potassium is a mineral, and that can really help us, especially for adults. If you get some cramping maybe in your legs, things that have potassium can help get rid of those cramps. Okay, so that's what we know about applesauce. Now I have another book, and this one's called Apple Farmer Annie. Annie is an apple farmer. She has a big orchard of apple trees. In the fall, she picks baskets and baskets of round, ripe apples. She grows many kinds of apples. She sorts them and organizes them. Even you can do this with your little one. You can go and get some apples from the store, and you can get them in different colors. So maybe get 2 of each, 2 red ones, 2 green ones, and 2 yellow ones. And your kiddo you can mix them all up, and then you can have your kiddo put them into groups. So your child can group them into the 2 red apples, the 2 green apples, and the 2 yellow apples. Annie uses some of the apples to make sweet apple cider. She uses others to make delicious, smooth applesauce. She loves baking muffins, cakes, and pies with her apples. But she saves the most beautiful ones of all to sell fresh at the market. She loads everything into her truck and drives to the city. Annie, the apple farmer, sets up her stand in the farmer's market. And we have farmer's markets here in Hawaii too. She sells all her yummy goodies. Lots of customers come to buy her goodies. She is busy all day long. By the end of the day, she has sold everything. She packs up to go home. She is tired but happy. It feels so good to have her own apple farm. And at the back of this book, there's all kinds of recipes for things that you can make with apples. So one thing that we can not necessarily make with apples, but we can use the spice of what goes into an apple pie to make Play-Doh. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to head into the kitchen, and I'm going to make some apple pie Play-Doh for you. So just a side note, Play-Doh is best with children over 2. And why is that? Because it is so much fun to play with. Why is it best for children over 2? Because children under 2 like to put a lot of things in their mouth. And although this Play-Doh is safe to put in their mouth, we probably don't want children putting it into their mouth. Just because it doesn't taste good. Actually, it smells really good, but it doesn't taste good. And, you know, we just want them to, when they're eating food, you know, we want them to have things that are nutritious. So this is a good thing to do with children over 2. Okay, so we're going to head into the kitchen and we're going to make apple pie Play-Doh. Hi, we're back. So now we're in the kitchen and we are going to make some apple pie Play-Doh. So the recipe for this is 2 cups of flour, but you have to divide it 1 cup and 1 cup. A half a cup of salt. So that's why it doesn't taste too good, because a half a cup of salt is a lot of salt. 1 tablespoon of cream of tartar. 1 tablespoon of oil. 1 cup of water. 2 tablespoons of apple pie spice, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, and red food coloring. Okay, so we're going to get started. So the first thing we do is add 1 cup of flour. So I did divide mine already. So this is 1 cup of flour. We're going to put it into this pot on the stove. The salt. So I did measure out my salt. So this is half a cup of salt. So this is now going into the pot. Our cream of tartar, this was 1 tablespoon, so I also measured that out. So it definitely is not this much. I used a half of tablespoon and then did that twice, and I just put it into this bigger container. So it's definitely not a cup worth, but 1 tablespoon. So that's going in there. We have our oil. So oil is 1 tablespoon. So again, I have a half a tablespoon measuring. So this is going to be 2 of these. 1 and 2. The apple pie spice. So the apple pie spice comes in a little container, a little McCormick container like this. And I have found it at Target. I could not find it at Choice Mart, but I didn't check KTA or Safeway. I'm sure Safeway would have it as well. So this is how it comes in the spice area. So I'm going to have 2 tablespoons of this. So with my half a tablespoon, I need 4 of those. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that was a little bit more, I think. Okay, and then cinnamon. And our cinnamon is going to be 2 tablespoons of cinnamon as well. So I need 4 of those. And again, that's a lot of cinnamon, so this will also make it smell really good, but if you taste it, it might go, you might say, ooh, that's a lot of cinnamon. So that's why we don't want little ones eating too much of this, because it doesn't taste good and we just don't want them to be eating a lot of the stuff. Okay, and then we are going to get 1 cup of water. Okay, so now we have in our pot that we haven't heated yet, we have 1 cup of flour, we have a half a cup of salt, we have some cream of tartar, we have some oil, we have some apple pie spice, and we have some cinnamon. Okay, so that's just sitting in our pot for now. So the next ingredients that go in here is water. And so we do use a cup of water, so measure out a cup of water. And then you are going to use, if you want to make it look like an apple, you want to use your red food coloring. There is some red food coloring out there that is made with natural ingredients. So the red is made with beets. And so that is a healthier way to use food coloring, especially red. But I just have the regular kind this time, so you can use either one. So then you're going to add 15 drops of food coloring to the water. And then we're going to add the water, that red water, into the pot. So there's that. And then we are going to turn on our stove to medium heat. So on this one here, I'm going to go up to about 6. And then we're going to start stirring it. Okay, so once you turn on your stove, then you are going to combine your ingredients. So you just mix them around, and it all kind of blends together really nicely. It's kind of nice and smooth. So that is wonderful. So once you have it all combined, you are then going to add another half cup of flour. So you did have 1 cup that was on the side, and now you're going to add in another half cup to that. So there we go. And then we're going to keep stirring it. And then in a few minutes, not too long, it's going to start forming a dough. Okay, so once it made that doughy looking substance, you want to take it off the heat and put it onto your counter. I have it on a cutting board before it starts to burn. So we want to make sure that we don't cook it too long, or else it will start to burn on there, okay? So then once you have it on your space here, then you're going to just kind of sprinkle a little bit more of the flour onto it. And then you can, it's still warm but not hot. And then you can just start, playing with it to make it kind of all come together. A little bit extra flour helps. So you can kind of tear it apart if you want that flour color to go away. And even adults will enjoy this because it's so relaxing to play with Play-Doh. And then you might need to feel like right now when I'm playing with it, when I kind of tore it apart and put it back together, I feel like it's a little bit sticky. So I want to put a little bit more flour. good. But again, we don't want to eat it. And there you have it. You have some apple pie Play-Doh. And this is, again, fun for you and fun for your child. And again, we recommend age 2 and up because of the younger children wanting to put it into their mouths. It is safe to eat, but definitely doesn't taste good and just not good for them. So have fun, enjoy, and thank you all for being here today. And I hope that you all stay healthy and well, and we'll see you soon for another video. Bye.